The Mud Peddlers, a podcast where two nerdy ceramic artists share the behind-the-scenes of their worlds of clay. We're your hosts, Lindsey M Dillon.
And I am Donte of Earth Nation. Today we're going to be talking about kilns. Actually, somebody suggested this. Who suggested this on the Apple iTunes reviews?
So this is thanks to Saltwater Stoneware.
Yeah, thank you for suggesting this. We decided to take your suggestion and run with it. Today we're talking about how we got our kilns names, the genders of our kilns, kiln gods, things that have to do with like really personalizing your kiln.
Yes.
Right? And I know for me, well, let's start off with you. Have you named your kiln?
Okay, so...
Have you named your kiln, Lindsey?
I have, but it's like the weebest thing on the planet.
Oh, don't worry. I'm getting to mine. Don't even worry.
God. Okay, all right.
Unless your name's kiln is Sasuke or something.
No, it is not Sasuke.
You're good.
So I don't actually ever refer to my kiln. Most of my focus is on the kiln god the kiln gods that I use. Mm-hmm. But I named my kiln Gotoku Neko.
Oh my god, it's so weeaboo!
It's so weeaboo! So the reason I did this is because I got my kiln the same year that I went to SakuraCon, and there was an author, I believe his name is Zach Davison, and he wrote a book called The Supernatural Cats of Japanese Folklore.
Oh my god.
And there's a chapter on the Gotoku Neko, and it's basically a cat that lights fireplaces. And I'm like, this is perfect! It's a kiln! So I decided to, up until now, it has been my own little nerd secret, but now it is no longer a secret, so...
Ooh, kiln out the closet, I tell you.
Oh,
it's
God.
out now.
Oh my god, what about you? Does your kiln have a name?
Yeah, so my last kiln, so you guys know I'm a huge Destiny fan. I play Destiny. But like even my favorite YouTubers are not ceramic art YouTubers. They're Destiny YouTubers. If you don't know, Destiny is a first-person shooter game that's kind of like Halo and Call of Duty got mixed together. Or it's kind of like World of Warcraft if it was a first-person shooter with Halo skins on it, right? So the way I named my first kiln, my Scut 181 was named Ghost. And that's because when I got it, it was kind of dead, and I brought it back to life, and I kind of refurbished it myself. In the game of Destiny, your ghost does the same thing for you. You have a companion, it's called a ghost, and every time you die, it either heals you back to a previous state of which you're not dead, or revives you to the same manner, right? It uses paracausality. And I thought it was adorable that I got something that was dead and brought it back to life, like a ghost would. And so I named it Ghost. That's the reason I named that. My second kiln that I have right now is called Redrix.
Redrix?
Redrix.
Okay, pray tell, why?
Redrix in the lore of the Crucible of Destiny was a young guardian, your character's named a guardian, was basically a player who would go into Crucible, which is PvP. They call it Crucible because it's supposed to be the thing that refines you. It's supposed to be the thing that teaches you lessons.
Yeah.
It's literally the crucible of life, right? It purifies you in a certain way, right? He and his team would just go through these wild adventures, and you get to see him in the lore, and you get to really read about him, and you get to learn like, oh, he learned how to use cover today. Oh, he learned how to... Like, there was a specific passage, I know I'm getting into it for those of you who are there's a specific passage where his teammate shot somewhere without an enemy being there, and he was like, don't shoot! And he's like, why not? He goes, unless you're gonna kill him, don't shoot, because now they know our position. And the next thing you see is a grenade come right in front of him.
Oh my god.
And of course, they don't really die, they just come back to life. So he turns to his friend and is like, see what you did? Like, we're about to die now, thank you.
Oh my gosh.
But they teach you little lessons like that. But at the end of his adventures, the Crucible handler, the person who handles all the fights and everything, made him a gun called Redrix's Broadsword. That in order to use the gun properly, you need to really get your timing, your pacing of your shots and all that properly. The issue was that in the game, you could get that gun too, but you had to earn it.
Okay.
So when I got my kiln, I had paid like 4 G's for it, and I had worked for like a year straight with Patreon money to get it. So I named it Redrix because I felt like I had earned it.
Oh my god, dude.
That's why I named it Redrix.
I love that so much.
Yeah, and I felt like I had to go through, I felt like I was a new potter, and I went through the process of all these hard lessons and teaching myself things and experience in the crucible of life. And I had earned that piece of equipment through helping the community and myself and working on my craft. That's the reason it's named Redrix. It's named after a gun in Destiny, which was quite hard to obtain.
Oh my god.
Which, by the way, for anybody who plays Destiny out there, the grind to get that gun for me was like 4 months long.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you know when people prestige, like in a PvP?
I've literally never played PvP.
In
anything. I'm like, I play video games to escape from the world.
It's a rank system, and the rank system is once you get to the top rank, you reset it and you prestige. So when someone's like, I've prestiged 5 times, that's a lot.
Oh, okay.
And so they told me you have to prestige 3 times. You have to prestige 4 or 5 times within 3 seasons.
Oh, damn.
Or within 1 season. I forgot which one it is, actually. But you had to, like, reset your rank a ridiculous amount of times on top of 14 other things you had to do.
Yeah.
And it was insane. I have not named my tester kiln yet.
Okay.
But that's about it. I have Redrix, and then I have the small firebox tester kiln right now.
Any names kind of in the works, in the running?
Yeah, plenty of people on the Instagram one now have, like, Iro. Somebody wanted Iro.
Oh.
Because it's a fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Somebody wanted Little Toasty, which I thought was cute. One other person said I should name it Broadsword because the gun's name is Redrix's Broadsword and they're now a pair.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was another Destiny buff that follows me on Instagram, and he said I should name it Saladin, which is another fire type of player.
Okay.
They use fire. Saladin comes from the word salamander, which of course is like the fire lizard.
Yeah.
Right, and that's so all names based around fire. But I haven't named it yet officially. I haven't released the video of it yet.
Oh.
Maybe by this time that you're hearing this, it'll probably be.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So do you have Kiln Gods?
I have one. My Kiln God's very non-traditional for Redrix.
Okay.
Redrix has a Mega Man toy as his Kiln God.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, you've seen it.
I have.
And it has voice activated and everything. You push a little button on its head and it's like...
Oh my god.
But yeah, one of my patrons, Linda, was listening to me about how much... Thank you, shout out to Linda if you're listening to this. Was listening to me about how much I love Mega Man and how I had lost my like life-size... Not life-size, but it's large. It's like the size of my forearm, essentially. Mega Man, and she just got me another one from Amazon. I don't know how she found it because I've looked for it before. I guess I didn't look hard enough. But that is my Kiln God.
Oh my
god. It sits right above Redrix. But usually, traditionally, that's not how Kiln Gods are born. You go into that.
Oh man. Okay. So I don't know if my Kiln Gods are quote unquote traditional because I've seen Kiln Gods done a few different ways. The way that I see folks do it at the Sacramento City College where I volunteer is Mimi, who's the studio technician, will have either like past little mini Kiln Gods that always sit on top of the kilns, like the 2 big gas kilns that we have.
Yes.
Have like permanent Kiln Gods, but then for some of the smaller firings, she'll make individual small ones that she fires within the kiln themselves.
Right.
I do kind of more the like permanent Kiln Gods. Like
Me too.
I have a Kiln God that I've actually had since I was in high school.
Really?
I do, yeah. So it's this little critter that looks like kind of like if Gollum and E.T. and like a nature spirit all became one thing, that's kind of what my Kiln God looks like. I'll have to post a picture on my Instagram for it. So basically I made it in high school and it's actually broken a couple times, but I've always, repaired it, and it sits in this like little mini altar that I have in my studio with a couple other like Kiln Gods that people have bought for me.
Yes.
But us actually sitting on top of the kiln is this little cat that my mom actually
Another cat,
of course, because
oh, bro.
So I'm a huge fan of the podcast Welcome to Night Vale, and there in that show there is this sort of spectral cat creature that hovers 3 feet above the ground in the bathroom of the Night Vale radio tower. It's like this alternate universe type of weird shit happens all the time.
Okay, all right.
So this cat is called a Koshak.
Okay.
And I kept mixing up the names Koshak and Koshche. Okay. Koshche is a figure from Russian and Eastern European, like Slavic folklore.
Yes.
Who's this like crazy wizard man.
Okay.
And so I named the cat kind of both of these things. So it's sometimes I call it Koshak, sometimes I call it Koshche, but my mom sculpted it for me because she knew what a big fan of Welcome to Night Vale I am, and she gave it to me when I got my kiln. But that's how my Kiln God got the one that I actually have sitting on top of the kiln. That's how it got its name.
Right. Okay. So let me read real quick the definition of a Kiln God. I just put into Google what is a Kiln God, and well enough, like I looked this up maybe a year or two ago, and there were no pictures and very little definitions. Now check it out, there's a bunch of pictures.
That's baller! I love it.
So let me first say that Kiln Gods usually, so far that I have seen, are not very attractive. They're not like masterpieces of artwork made by the best potters that you set up on your kiln. I'm not saying there's none that exist like that. I'm just saying that traditionally, I've never seen one that is like, you know, usually it's a piece that has some type of energy or significance to it. A lot of my Kiln Gods that I've had out over the years are just like pieces that refuse to die. Pieces that like are I think they're amazing, but they didn't sell at a table for like 12 tables in a row or something.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff like that. So let me read the definition of what is a Kiln God from Google. It serves as a charm or talisman. Kiln Gods are meant to guard against any kind of bad luck that may be possible during the firing process. Kiln Gods are traditionally placed at the entrance of the kiln. One of the main reasons American ceramicists make Kiln Gods is to relieve stress. And that's about it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that. There is definitely this sense, and I feel like I've heard this in like various other podcasts that talk about religion, but where humans have lack of control over something, that's where spirituality tends to fill that gap.
A god will appear where there is insecurity about control.
Yes. And
throughout history, that usually happens.
Yeah, I feel that. So do you have any like specific rituals or like little things that you do when you do a firing? Either like do you pray to your kiln god? Do you actually like I don't know, I'm curious. Like
I don't I've left an offering at times to Mega Man.
What offering would you offer?
I give him crystals a lot. I'm a crystal person. I'm a crystal person in the sense that I like crystals, but I'm not a crystal person in the sense that like I'll rub it on your stomach and say that your solar chakra is now healed. Like I'm not gonna give you a crystal and be like your cancer is cured. I'm not gonna do that to you.
Yeah.
But I'm very much like this crystal's pretty, and if I was any type of god, I would like this. Like if you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like I like to imagine like if somebody was giving me an offering, the stuff I would like crystals and like food. And just like for someone to visit my shrine once in a while. And that's kind of what I do for Mega Man. I do say goodnight to Mega Man.
Ooh, every night?
Not every night.
Okay.
Whenever I have really long, late night work sessions. Because I feel like he's just there. And then I'll usually like pop his head. I'll be like, good night, Mega Man. And then I'll push the button. You hear like, do-do-do-do-do. And you're like, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
That is so wholesome. I love it. My God.
I also say hello and good night to Redrix whenever I load him. And I don't say Redrix, I say Ready. I'm like, what's up, Ready? And then sometimes, because I think the dad part of me is coming out sooner or later.
Oh my God.
I'll start programming the kiln. I'll be like, you ready? And that's...
Oh my God. Donte, you are so ready to be a father.
I know.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's getting bad, guys. It's getting bad. I think I don't know if it's age or... Because in my 20s, I was like, puns are the lowest form of comedy. They are the baseline. Now I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
They are the highest form of comedy.
They're I've seen better. It depends on the pun.
Yes. Oh.
But that's kind of how I decided my kiln's name. And then that's also, I talk to my kiln sometimes.
Yeah.
I do realize it's more about energy that I give. It's like talking to a flower to me. Like it's about the energy that I give it, and it's not about it exactly reciprocating.
Yeah. Like I talk to my kiln god. I don't really talk to my kiln, but it's like that same thing, like where I don't necessarily believe that like there's a spirit or anything like in it, but it's kind of, again, it's like that ritual. It's that like,
it's the intent.
Yeah. And I love the history of like religion in general. I find it fascinating the different ways that people have expressed their interest in the divine or the otherworldly.
Yeah.
So to me, it's not so much that I believe that it's real, but it's more that it feels like it's tapping into that history of worshiping something or like asking for assistance. It taps into that like universal human experience or almost universally human experience of seeking or beseeching the divine for assistance.
Things outside of your control, especially.
Yeah.
Because you feel, especially as a new ceramicist, you feel like you don't have a lot of control with it. Like, imagine this. Every YouTube potter or every, like, famous potter that you like, it is very, very low chance that they get 100% quality out of their kiln. Whenever you fire a kiln, it is very rare that everything comes out perfect exactly how you wanted it.
Yeah.
And that is loss of control to some extent. And I feel like that's the reason why a lot of kiln gods exist, is because you want a little charm or a little protector to kind of mediate that control. And that's where a lot of things happen. You know what I mean? It rains, you don't know why it rains. Oh, there's a god of rain. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And that's where human beings make up a lot of the ideals for gods.
Yeah.
But it's just the energy that you give your kiln. It's more, it's like people who talk to flowers and believe that they'll grow more. Like, probably the water and the sunlight that you give it is probably more
of an impact.
Yeah, more of an impact than you talking to it. But like, yeah, I like to think that talking to flowers kind of helps a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think part of it too is that, I don't know about you, but it's like there's that sense that it's like, well, there's no harm in it, you know? Like, I mean, there's this, I know people use this quote all the time, but...
It's peculiar, it's not weird, though.
Yeah. But no, there's this quote from Shakespeare. I'm gonna get all Shakespearean here.
That guy.
But I know. But it's the phrase, there are more things in heaven and earth than dreamt of in our philosophies. And I always kind of like that, because it's this sense that, you know, I like leaving room for, like, mystical shit in the world, because, you know, like, in general, like, I tend to lean more towards science than other things, but I know that I am happier leaving room in my head to, you know, pray to my kiln god and go, all right, Koshe, like, help me take care of this kiln, you know, watch over it, and it makes me feel better, and I think that's part of it.
I'd totally be a Tom Hanks Wilson dude. If I was left alone for way too long. You ever watch The Umbrella Academy?
Oh, yeah.
You know when he grabs the mannequin, he talks to the mannequin?
Oh, God, yes.
I would be one of those guys.
Absolutely.
Like, but just with a kiln, you know what I mean? They also brought up gender.
Oh yeah.
They also brought up gender.
I heard you refer to Reddy as a he. So
Redrix is a male, and Ghost was non-binary.
I like it. Okay.
I've never thought that anyone cared about that. I never thought I would get that question.
Yeah, it's an interesting, like.
I'm not like a social justice warrior, and I'm not like so left leaning that I think that, like, you know, I don't know. Just I'm not like that. I'm not an extremist of any side. But, like, it's just in the same sense that I talk to my kiln and thinking that helps my kiln load is the same sense that I'm like, when I talk to my kiln, I'm like, I wonder what voice it would respond back to, and I wonder if it's a male or female voice. And then sooner or later I just came up with the idea of like, oh, you're just non-binary. But Redrix is very, like, to me, I was like, Redrix is a male. In my brain.
Oh, I like it.
Even though they clearly don't have genders.
Yeah. And, like, I feel like it's important to say that, you know, I mean, you kind of already brought it up yourself, but, like, non-binary is valid. It's important.
Yeah.
Like, I literally never thought about a gender to my kiln. Or, like, I like, though, that you asked yourself, what voice would it have if it responded?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
so I think the conversation in between me and Ghost, if there was one, was, like, a very sassy person who didn't like me to assume anything about it. So, like... You know, as I usually talk to my kiln, I came in, I'm like, what's up, Ghost? How you doing today? And it was like, I'm good. And I was like, what's wrong with you? Like, you know, it's like nothing. You know, and I started talking, and to some point it got to, like, me saying its name. And it was like, you don't know if I'm a boy or a girl. And I was like, you're right, I don't know if you're a boy or a girl. And it was like, how dare you assume? And I was like, God, why is Ghost so fucking bitchy all the time?
Oh my God.
And then, you know, it turned, like, through that conversation, I was like, I can't assume my kiln's gender, I guess. So it's just a, you know.
Yeah.
It's both, I guess. So,
yeah.
Or neither. So it just ended up being,
non-binary.
Non-binary, yeah.
Yeah.
My little kiln is a girl.
Yeah?
Yeah. I decided that last week. I was like, you're a female.
Aww.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Off of nothing. It's kind of like how you look, my mom used to tell me this. She would look at forks and be like, forks are male and spoons are female, right?
Huh.
And I always thought that was weird. And I think it's just because she attributes, like, hard, pokey things to males.
Yeah.
And things that can cradle stuff to females, and I think that's how she does that.
Well, there's a whole, like, history around that, like in design, like looking at quote-unquote feminine shapes versus quote-unquote masculine shapes. I mean, there's a whole, like, field that looks at that.
You ever if you're listening to this and you're looking at the car in front of you on your podcast or whatever, like, just look at or you get out of your car and you look at it, just look at it and be like, are those feminine or masculine kind of features? And it's really weird, because even though they're inanimate objects, your brain still goes, those look like female eyes. Or like a male bone structure. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just based on genome and not so gender alone.
Well, I think it's like we are trained to associate those attributes with specific genders. Like really athletic looking sports cars, you know, it's like with the sleek, like angry eyes for the windshield, not the windshield, the headlights.
Yeah.
You know, anyway, so I mean, we started out with do we use Kiln Gods to like design theory and gender? I find that I love that. Oh man. All right. Well, I guess that's all I can think of that we've covered in terms of what Saltwater Stoneware asked us about. So thanks again so much for that suggestion. And if you guys have any thoughts about, you know, what you would like us to talk about, like, send us a message. You can either contact, well, I mean, all of our, like, social media stuff is in the notes and at the end of the episode. But let us know what you want us to talk about. And
yeah, we take suggestions. It's not like we gonna talk about what we gonna talk about and you gonna get it. You gonna like it. I tell you what, boy. But but clearly we take suggestions, so we enjoy that you guys talk to us and we want to talk to you back.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we want to talk? I mean, we answered all the questions.
Yeah.
That's saltwater. But is there anything else that we could address? I mean.
Okay. So I had asked you about rituals.
Man. Oh, rituals.
And the only last thing I will say is that the only ritual that I have is, it's gonna sound so silly, but like after I load my kiln and after I start it, I will touch my fingers to my forehead and be like, all right, Koshe, take care of the kiln. And it feels so like funny and like, I don't know, like a little part of me is like, man, in 10 years, am I gonna look back and be like, wow, you're such a nerd, Lindsey?
No, I mean, have you ever seen that, I don't know if it was Berkeley. No, it wasn't Berkeley because this was before Berkeley, but they put a bunch of hamsters in a cage and they basically gave the hamsters food based on random activities. So what would happen is they would hear like a sound, they would hear like a click, and then food would drop out.
Oh, okay.
Or like they would give the hamster food based on what they did. So if the hamster went around in a circle, they would basically give them food.
Okay.
And so whenever the hamster wanted food, they would go around in a circle. So they kept doing this to the point where the hamster would like get on its hind legs, go in a circle, go back and forth in between its cage 3 times, and then they would give it food. And after a while, it became such a ritual that when they introduced other hamsters, they would do it too. And they were like, we just created religion with hamsters. We forced them to do a specific ritual because they think that is the thing that gives them food. When realistically, we're just giving them food based on random behaviors that they do.
Oh my god.
And I feel like that's kind of akin to what's going on with my kiln sometimes. I do certain things that I'm like, oh, that was a really good kiln load. I'll do that again.
Yeah.
It's the football player's lucky sock or lucky rag or lucky sticker or helmet or jockstrap or whatever. But it's something like that.
Yeah.
The ritual that I have that's not really a ritual that has like a conclusion to it, I usually light a candle. And that's not for the kiln, that's for when I'm working. So if the candle starts to die from its own wax, like flooding it, that's my brain going, okay, I've been here too long.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. If I've been there for more than like 4 hours and the candle's starting to like burn, I hear that fizzle noise, I'm like, oh, it's time for me to go.
That's really interesting.
Especially in the winter, just try it. It helps a lot, weirdly enough, because even though you might be cold, your brain sees fire and goes, oh, okay, it's nice, it's warm. It's close to me. It's just mental gymnastics, but it has nothing to do with actually being warm.
That's really great though to bring that up, the idea of like mental gymnastics, because I think what makes a lot of this conversation interesting is that we are like self-aware of like, it's like, like we recognize that we don't literally believe that like Mega Man is literally helping the firing, but we can recognize that our brains react to things in a certain way, and we can recognize kind of like the behind the scenes of what's going on in these dynamics, and I find that interesting.
Well, that's to me, that's the first step. Like, I feel like at a certain age, 15, 16 maybe, my brain clicked on and was like, oh, I'm conscious enough to understand that my behaviors are not my own experience. That like, if everybody on the planet was a computer, you're all programmed based on your experience and how you react to them.
Yeah.
And then realizing that you're programmed is like the way that you become really self-conscious.
Yeah.
Is the way that you go like, oh, okay, so this doesn't really exist. I just think it exists because of my previous experiences with its existence.
Yeah. It's like critical thinking.
It's literally critical thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's people out there who like they can't see from other perspectives. But I think that's kind of the first step to sympathy, at least, is to go, my experience is not your experience. And so the things that you do are different from what I do. Not because you're so different from me, but because although we both still eat shit, bleed the same color. Like, you're raised in a different culture, and that culture is based on experiences, based on a geographical area of what you've done throughout history. Like, you're not that different from me. You just kind of, like, do different stuff.
I like that. All right, so we've gone from Kiln Gods to critical thinking.
Sorry.
I love it. No, I love it. I love it.
Tired of human beings thinking that they're like better or different from all the other, like different human beings based on little aspects. And I'm like, you're not.
Yeah.
You're just a different color sometimes, and then you do different things based on culture, which half the time your culture is just historically not pre-discerned, but like based on what you had for natural resources is what is your behavior, you know? I lost it. It's gone.
That's okay.
It's gone.
All right.
It's gone.
Bye.
It's gone. My train of thought died in the middle.
It's okay. We can edit it out. And that's it for today. Thank you for listening to The Mud Peddlers with Lindsey M Dillon
and Donte of Earth Nation.
Want to say hi and see what Donte and I are working on in our studios? Check out the show notes for links to our websites and social media below. You can find me at lindseymdillon.com. That's LINDSEY, M as in monster, DILLON.com, and on Etsy, Instagram, and Facebook at Lindsey M Dillon.
And you can find me at Earth Nation Ceramics. It's spelled exactly how you think it's spelled, but you can also find me on my Facebook fan page and Instagram at the same name at Earth Nation Ceramics.
If you enjoyed hanging out with us today, or you have a question or topic you'd like us to discuss, take a second to rate and review The Mud Peddlers in Apple Podcasts. It helps our podcast reach new listeners, and we really appreciate the feedback. Thanks again, and we'll catch you next time.